Scott Bauer joining us this afternoon. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, and he's with us here to take a look at a few names he's got on his radar. Scott, at the top of the show, he took a look at crude on the move today. Let's just begin with your thoughts.
Well, in long run, hopefully this is a good thing, but I think, Ben, this is setting up to be the absolute perfect buy the rumor, sell the news type of event here. We actually don't know what President Trump is brokering per se right now. And the market is hoping that there's, Saudi and Russia are going to kind of call the dogs off a little bit. But the bottom line is, even if they do, even if they, tamp down production a little bit here, that in no way, shape, or form affects the demand issue. That demand issue is going to be, right here, front and center, for as long as the coronavirus, pandemic is here. So, yes, it was a perfect storm before with the supply and the demand. But again, I think this rally today, you got to take it with a lot of caution.
You're not alone, Scott. I'm looking at the daily time frame here, and I'm looking at the wicks on these candles. Clearly, it was met with some resistance to the upside there. You said, again, mentioned some of the demand destruction. I'm starting to wonder, at what point are we going to see some supply curbs being placed? Or, there's got to be something that happens on the shale side of things as well. It's not just OPEC. Right.
No. I couldn't agree with you more. Could not agree with you more. And maybe that's, some more news that's going to come out of the White House tomorrow when the president meets with, some of the big oil companies here. But you're absolutely right. It is not just OPEC.
Yeah. All right. We had EIA with a bill this week of 13.8. I'm hearing of Cushing and multiple storage facilities that are nearing storage capacity. Let's talk about a couple stocks you've got your eye on, though. Altria, ticker symbol MO, the gap lower, down 4.5% on news that the FTC is seeking to undo the $12.5 billion deal they have with Juul. What are you hearing, Scott?
You know what? This, to me, actually just kind of came out of the blue. Maybe it was, in the background a little bit, but yeah, the street doesn't like this. And I thought maybe given how MO has traded over time and how they've really, just lost a lot, let's say, in this investment here, I thought the street might take this a little bit differently and actually look at this as a positive for the stock, but not so much. They acquired, a 35% stake. And, now that the FTC is looking to maybe disband this and they're looking at some anti-competitive, nature of this here, I actually thought that might be a positive, Ben. I'm a little bit confused at the market reaction.
Yeah, they're recently coming off a 30.95 low. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 days to the upside here. They're gapping lower today, currently trading down by about 4%. Scott, you got another one on your radar today. I wanted to dive into Constellation Brands, ticker symbol STZ. They've had a nice run up as well, much like what we were just taking a look at with Altria. But they've also gapped lower today, down today. If they close lower, it's 3 days in a row ahead of earnings. What are you looking for in terms of the numbers that they're going to be reporting?
So first off, let's look at a technical basis here. And if you look at where STZ just kind of topped out, right around that 145, 146 area as the market had rallied last week.
I see it.
That was a gap filled to the downside just prior to that. So that set that area up technically as potential massive resistance. And sure enough, it hit there and this thing has just tanked. And I'm surprised it's gone down so much ahead of earnings here, but it has really tanked before earnings. And that's a pretty bearish sign there, Ben, that it, took that resistance point and absolutely slammed from there. Now, they have a lot going for them right now. They're trying to diversify quite a bit, a lot of competition, but a lot going for them. And I actually kind of like this. I don't like it back to the 145 level here. I think we get kind of a neutral print here. I really do.
Yeah, looks like they're expecting $1.62 EPS on $1.84 billion. Scott, I'm looking at the chart, and I'm glad you brought that to our attention in terms of filling the gap and then selling off, because I noticed they're no stranger to revisiting gaps and failing on a retest of them. Back in the end of February, the gap lower, retested that the first week of March, and we can see around 190. They failed there as well. Gap lower again. You can see kind of how they found themselves in this situation. Scott, the That's a great breakdown on a couple names that we should be keeping an eye on, and definitely diving into the energy sector there. Really appreciate you joining us here on Midday Movers. Scott Bauer giving us part of his afternoon. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, really appreciate it. Thanks again.